You know that glass of milk you might have had this morning? It seems so simple, right? Well, its journey to your table is actually one of the most complex, high-stakes logistical puzzles on the entire planet. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible system behind India's dairy market. It's an amazing story of science, speed, and just mind-boggling scale.
All right, let's dive right into what I think is the most revolutionary part of this whole story, the science of how they price the milk. Because believe me, figuring out a fair price for milk is way more complicated than you think.
I mean, really think about this question for a second. This was the massive problem they had to solve. If you just pay a flat rate for every liter, what's stopping someone from just adding a little water, right? But if you only pay for, say, richness, you might be missing other important quality stuff. The solution had to be smart, it had to be scientific, and it had to work for literally millions of people.
And here it is. This is the genius solution they came up with. The two-axis milk pricing policy. The best way to think about it is like pricing a diamond. You don't just pay for its size, you pay for its cut, its clarity, its quality. This system does the exact same thing for milk, looking at two key things. Fat content, of course, and something called SNF, or solid not fat. That's basically all the other good stuff, the proteins, the lactose, you name it.
So let's break down how this actually works. For cow milk, the fat content is a huge deal. It gets 100% of its value factored in. But look at the SNF. That other good stuff accounts for a massive 60 to 70% of the milk's final price. This two-pronged approach is brilliant because it means farmers get rewarded for producing genuinely high-quality, nutrient-packed milk, not just milk with a lot of fat.
And the result of all this? Well, you're looking at what's basically the gold standard for milk payment anywhere. It's a scientific method that creates this perfect win-win situation. The farmers get paid fairly for producing better milk, which means there's zero incentive to cheat the system. And we, the consumers, get a much better, safer product. Everybody wins.
But you know, to really appreciate just how smart this new system is, you got to take a quick look at the flawed, old-school way it replaced.
Yeah, this chart pretty much says it all. The old way was simple. You get paid by the liter. The huge problem? It basically encouraged people to water down the milk to make a few extra bucks. The new way, with its quality testing, makes that totally pointless. It completely flips the script from awarding quantity to rewarding quality. And that single change, that one idea, turned the entire industry on its head. Okay, so we've solved the pricing problem. That's huge. But now for the next giant challenge. How in the world do you physically get all that milk from millions of cows in countless remote villages to a processing plant, all while it's basically in a race to spoil? This is where the logistics get truly insane.
I mean, just look at this list of hurdles. You've got millions of tiny farms scattered all over the countryside. A lot of these places have terrible roads, if they have roads at all. And to top it all off, you're fighting a warm climate where bacteria just loves to grow. It is the absolute perfect recipe for disaster.
The solution is this incredible multi-stage relay race. Seriously, it starts super small scale, with individual farmers bringing in their milk cans on bicycles, in carts, sometimes even just carrying them. All that milk gets pooled together at a village collection center. From there, it's loaded onto jeeps and trucks. And for the final leg of the journey, it all gets consolidated into these giant, modern tankers heading to the dairy plant. So what's the magic ingredient that makes this massive relay race actually work? It's the cooperative model. By organizing themselves into co-ops, the farmers themselves create the system. It gives them transparency and fairness. They run the collection centers together, making sure everyone gets paid that fair price based on that scientific policy we were just talking about. See how it all connects?
So we've got fair pricing and we've got a collection system. But there's one final, absolutely relentless enemy that this whole operation has to fight every single day: the clock. When it comes to milk, time is everything. 3 to 4 hours. That's it. That is the absolute maximum time they have to get the milk from the cow to a chilling center. Any longer than that, especially in a warm climate, and the risk of spoilage just goes through the roof.
So how on earth do they hit that tiny window every single day across an entire country? Well, it's by mastering these core principles. It's like a perfectly choreographed symphony of speed and efficiency. The routes are all planned out to be as short and fast as possible. The tankers are designed to carry the absolute maximum load to cut down on trips, and every single thing, from the farmer's little can to that massive tanker, has to be perfectly clean and protect the milk from heat.
When you boil it all down, the entire massive operation runs on this one powerful mission statement. Every single decision they make is driven by these three goals. It's a constant, relentless push to cut down the time, increase the load, and never, ever compromise on quality.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought. We've just seen how a relentless focus on quality, backed up by some brilliant science and logistics, completely transformed an entire industry. It really makes you wonder, if this level of precision is possible for something as simple as milk, what other everyday products out there are just waiting for their own quality revolution?